Howdy, friend. Sam Houston here, hoping you're living in high cotton. And if you're lucky enough to be in Texas, I know you're most of the way there. Now enjoy your daily dose of Texas history and Texas pride.
Howdy, friend. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit podcast and your Texas History Roundup for January 7th. In 1830, Mission Nuestra Señora del Refugio, which had been founded on February 4th, 1793, was closed when fewer than 24 Karankawa and Coco Indians remained attached to the mission. The mission was abandoned and left to ruin. In 1836, Provisional Governor Henry Smith and the General Council began parting ways when the council refused to submit their actions concerning a proposed attack on Matamoros to him for approval. Smith informed the council that they were debased human villains and ordered them to adjourn by March 1st. The council promptly ordered the governor to cease the functions of his office, appointed Lieutenant Governor James W. Robinson to succeed him, and issued an order that General Houston is relieved of command of all volunteer forces. General Sam Houston did not become aware of this rift and his removal as commander of volunteer forces until about January 16th at Refugio. In 1870, the Waco Bridge officially opened. This modern suspension bridge spanning the Brazos River was built to stimulate the economy and facilitate north-south traffic. At 475 feet, it was the longest single-span suspension bridge in the world at the time. The wire cables had been shipped from New York to Galveston, then up the Brazos. The bridge was later sold to the city of Waco, and in 1889 it became a free bridge. The Waco Bridge was retired as a main traffic bridge in 1971 and is listed in the National Register of Historic Places. In 1876, William L. Casino died at his estate in Jamaica. Casinu, hard to pronounce that, had assisted in escorting Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna to Galveston after the Battle of San Jacinto, and later directed the collection of the remains of the dead at the Alamo and saw to their burial. He represented Travis County in 3 of the Texas Congresses and was later appointed by Presidents Franklin Pierce and James Buchanan as special agent to the Dominican Republic. And finally, in 1899, William A. Bigfoot Wallace died in Frio County. Born in Virginia in 1817, Wallace, at the age of 19, after hearing that his brother had a cousin had been killed in the Goliad massacre, traveled for Texas to take pay out of the Mexicans. He stood 6 feet 2 inches and weighed 240 pounds. He later volunteered for the Somerville Mire expedition, only to be captured and survive the Black Bean episode. After his release from Perote Castle, which served as a prison in Mexico, he was a Texas Ranger in the Mexican War. Wallace gained renown as a scout for tracking Indians and runaway slaves, and as a driver for mail stages between San Antonio and El Paso. He was well-read, but represented himself as a rough frontiersman. Shortly after he died, his remains were moved to the Texas State Cemetery. And that, my friends, was your Texas History Roundup for January 7th. Thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you right back here tomorrow on the next one. All right, you take care.
Well, there you have it. If you like our podcast, check us out at feedbandit.com. There you'll find awesome Texas First outdoors gear and apparel. Your purchase helps support the Bandits and keeps this podcast on the air, fighting for you and for Texas. Remember, preserve the tradition, protect the legacy. Until next time.